we can set up and enable WebRTC in VICIdial to be able to use web phones. VICIdial has a built-in web phone that is ViciPhone. By using ViciPhone, you won't need any physical phone or soft phone, and you can log in into your browser and your browser will be your phone. Here is a quick demo on how it works. Here I will log in to my VICIdial. I set up a demo system in the dialer.omid.blog in my DigitalOcean. So I will log in as the phone that I have created and also the user. I select my campaign and I log in. When I log in, you can see a web phone, a VC phone is loaded, and this is my phone. I'm not using Zoiper or any physical phone to have voice, so I can just call agent web phone. It will be on a conference and my system is ready to receive call or dial out. In order to do that, we will install VICIdial on DigitalOcean. I have a video on how to create an image and import from Proxmox to your DigitalOcean. This is the easiest way that you can install VICIdial, and it's very fast. If you are one of my subscribers in my Patreon, I already uploaded the ISO file, the image in my Patreon, and you can download and upload your DigitalOcean, and you don't need to follow this video. But if you are not one of my Patreons, then you need to generate a image and upload to your DigitalOcean. Also, we will enable SSL on the VICIdial. I have explained this step in another video as well. I will redo here, but with not all the details, so please watch this video. And in the final step, I will show you how to set up WebRTC and how to create WebRTC based phones, and how to use VICIdial ViciPhone template to be able to use WebRTC to have this type of communication. So let's get started. So let's install by installing ViciBox on DigitalOcean. I have a video on how to export, how to create a VM on Proxmox, and how to export it to DigitalOcean. Of course, you can use VirtualBox or any other virtualization platform. Also, if you are one of my Patreons, patreon.com Omid Mohajerani, then you are able to join and download the image that I'm using here. So you don't need to export or, for example, install everything. Everything is done. Everything is created as an image, and you can access it via my Patreon if you are one of the subscribers. Okay, let's get started. So we go to the DigitalOcean. We go to the images. We go to the custom image. And this is the image that I have, that I'm using, and I've uploaded. I can create a droplet based on that. Start a droplet. Okay, create a droplet, and here I'm using 7 USD because it is just for, actually any of them we can use. This 7 USD is totally fine. It has enough disk space for us because the image that I uploaded is 20 gigabyte. Here is 25, so it's more than enough. And also this is for testing, so we don't need a lot of RAM or CPU. Any region that you prefer, select the SSH keys and give it a name. I want to name this ViciBox, let's say ViciPhone.omid.blog. This is my domain, and I just tag it ViciBox10 so that I can find it later, and create droplet. Okay, it's creating the droplet. This is the one that I want to use. Meantime, I need to create a DNS name for it as well, because for SSL, we need a DNS name. So I log into my DNS manager, and I'm creating on the add, and I'm choosing the A record. This is what I'm doing here. I have already explained in the enable SSL and VICIdial in my videos. So I just want to create a subdomain for the VM that is created. Takes a while to create. Okay, this is the IP address. So I copy and I name it as the value here, and also the name, let's name it ViciPhone. So ViciPhone.omid.blog will point to the IP address of the virtual machine that I have created. I create an add record. Okay, DNS is ready. Let's go back to the VM. And the image that I have uploaded, it's before the OS install. So what we need to do, we need to click on the VM that we have created, click console. By default, DigitalOcean will give you two IP addresses, public IP address and the private IP address. So if you log into the system, and if you type ifconfig, you will see there is no interface loaded right now. But if you type LAN, you will see you have three network interfaces: ETH, Ethernet card 0, 1, and ETH 0. ETH 0 is the one that that is when I installed in my Proxmox. So I just need to delete it. So ETH 0 is not really a valid interface. Of course, we can let it be there, but it's better to delete it to be clean. In DigitalOcean, Ethernet card 0 and Ethernet card 1. Why? Because DigitalOcean by default will give you two IP addresses. One of them is the private and one of them is the public IP address. In order to know that, you can just enable the DHCP mode on both network interface. So I will go to the network interface and I select dynamic address and I select next. Also, I will go to the second network interface. Sorry, I need to actually edit. And the second network interface I set as dynamic IP address as well, because DigitalOcean by default has a DHCP server. I click next. Also, I need to change two other, the host name. The host name, let's name it as the ViciPhone.omid.blog. Of course, you need to set it to whatever name you have set. And the DNS is already set a public DNS, so it should work. And we go to the routing, and the default routing, we delete the default routing because we want the routes to be assigned by the DHCP, and we press OK. So what I have done here, I set the first and second interface in a DHCP mode. Okay, it's 100% right now. If I type ifconfig, I will see I have two network interfaces, the first one and the second one. Let's type ifconfig ETH1 so that we can see the IP address. As you can see, the ETH1 is the public IP address, 137.197.185.135. That's the public IP address that is assigned to me onto my VM. So we don't need the second interface. We don't need ETH2. I can disable it, I can let it be there. It's better to disable it because when you want to install the VICIdial, then you may have some problems. So go to the ASLAN. Now I know that the ETH 2 is my private IP address or internal IP address. So if I type ifconfig ETH2, I will say the 10.135.0.4 is my internal network interface. So what I want to do, I want to disable this one. I will just click yes LAN. I will select ETH2, actually the first one. I will edit it. And then I will add no link because I don't want to have any IP address. Click next and then OK. Now I just have ETH1, and ETH1 has the public IP address. Next step is to update the time zone, ViciBox time zone. It will install the a time checker, a time synchronization package, and I will select my time zone, Asia and Kuala Lumpur. So it's very critical to select the time zone correctly, or you will have problem in the next steps. After I set the time zone, it's better to check if we have any update. So just run Zyper update. If you are using my package, it's mostly updated. Maybe some about 5 packages need to be updated, that they are not the main packages. So just update once and then run ViciBox Express. We need to type ViciBox Express to install. In order to do that, first we check our connection. Let's SSH the system and see if we have the IP address. SSH root at 138.197.185.135. Yes, we are able to SSH to the system and we are able to log in. So let's just install ViciBox Express. It needs the IP address. It couldn't detect by default, so we enter our IP address again. The IP address is actually the IP address that we have here. That is 138.197.185.135, and we enter the IP address. It will install the ViciBox Express. These installation steps are like what I have explained in the other videos as well, but this is in the DigitalOcean. Using the image, we can be much more faster because the first step on the OS installation is already done. So we just need to log in, give the IP address, and run ViciBox Express to install the ViciBox. After the installation is done, you just need to reboot the system. As I have explained, this is the normal ViciBox installation. If you do not know how to install ViciBox at all, then and you want more information, then you can refer to my videos on the ViciBox installation or even the ViciBox on Linode. So the process are the same. Let's see if the VM is rebooted. Okay, the VM is rebooted, and you can see the IP address is up. So let me just copy the IP address and enter to the web panel. And yes, the ViciBox is installed on the DigitalOcean. We can log in with the default user. The default user is actually 6666, and the password is 1234. Click on continue initial setup. Let's give it a password. Let's give it omit block. And we set the time zone to +8 Kuala Lumpur and also Asia Kuala Lumpur. Great. So the password is set. The first step is to log in and set the access for user 666, as I have explained in the previous videos. So you need to give it access so that you can create campaigns, create users, etc. Okay, after we have created the user, we are able to create campaign. Let's create a very minimal campaign. We just name it POC. Let's name it POC campaign. And we can set for 24 hours. And we set the minimum options in the details to be able to log into the system. So we say allow no hopper lead login and no hopper dialing to yes. If we don't set these two options, we are not able to log in or we are not able to call. As I have explained, we have created a domain as well, ViciPhone.omit.block here, that points to my system. So now instead of the IP address, if I use ViciPhone.omit.block, I should be able to, yes, I'm able to log in and access my VICIdial. But as you can see, it's not secure. For VICIdial, we need to have a secure connection. In order to do that, we need to SSH to our system. This is the part that I have explained in the video on how to enable SSL. So I will just run it here. I will go to USR share ViciBox SSL, and I run ViciBox SSL command. I will enter my email address, the fully qualified name, or FQDN, that is ViciPhone.omit.block. And do you want to generate SSL cert? Yes. It will automatically get the SSL cert. And do you want to set up, this is a very important step, do you want to enable the new SSL cert in the Apache and Asterisk? Yes. It will automatically configure the Apache, and it will create a template for SSL, especially that this template is using for WebRTC. It will automatically configure all of them. Do you want to add it to the cron job to automatically load? No, I don't want to renew, so I will just select no. And yes, this is installed. Because I have a cache, so I need to open it in a new browser, and sorry, with the HTTPS. And you can see this is secure. Connection is secure. This is what we need for the WebRTC. If you don't have a secure connection, you cannot run a WebRTC phone. When you are installing here, it will give you some guides. For example, you need to set WRTC. This is very important. This is the URL that you need to set for your WebSocket, and it exactly mentions where to set it. In the admin server section, you need to change to this option. Of course, if you refer to the system, you will see that it is already set, but it's good to double check. So if I go to the admin, and if I click on the server, Select my VICIdial ViciPhone. Look at here, the WebSocket URL. It should be what you are getting from here. So it is already set automatically. One other thing that I have noticed is that check your asterisk version. The one that I'm using is asterisk 13.38.2. So copy this one and update your asterisk version here. It has an I at the end as well, we see. Sorry, we just need to copy the version, not the asterisk name. So that's what you need to copy and submit. Okay, that's it. In a way, these are the configurations that we need for a ViciPhone. So we need to just, now we are going to step 3. We need to create a phone. Let's go to the phones. It's like a normal phone. Add a new phone. Let's give it the number. So this is very normal. You don't need to set anything for WebRTC here. You submit, and then here we have option set as web phone, yes, and here TCP template ID you need to select as WebRTC or RTC template for ViciPhone. So ViciPhone RTC, submit. If you go to the templates, you will see the ViciPhone RTC. This is automatically created for you, and it is already set the cert for you as well. So this is the one that you need to use. So the phone is created. Of course, we need to have a user to be able to log in as well. Let's add a new user. Let's name it Omid with password. Let's say put the same password, Omid block. And we give it a level of 4. We submit. That's it. The user is submitted. Now let's test. We will log into our, of course, with the HTTPS viciphone.omid.blog, and we click agent 555 Omid blog. Then here I select, okay, I think my campaign is not created. Let's see. Campaign, yes, the campaign is created and active. Let's see my user. What was the password? Okay, refresh the campaign. I think the user is not in the, yes, it's not in the admin user group, so it cannot see our campaign. So you need to set the user group as admin and refresh here. Now we are able to see the POC campaign, submit. We allow the WebRTC. As you can see, the phone is registered. And of course, we have a time synchronization issue. I will show you how to solve it. But the phone, as you can see, it is registered and it's ready. And if you click go back, if you click call agent mat, it will call the phones. So what about this error that is showing? This is a very common error. There's a time synchronization the problem. For solving this, if you encountered, you need to check something else. You need to go to reports. As you can see here, there is a server. Click on it. You can see the PHP, DB, and the asterisk time are not synced. It's 12:07, but it is 12:16. In order to do that, in order to solve this problem, you can exit your asterisk, run the ViciBox time zone again. This is the one that we have set up. Select other settings. Go to sync time with the NTP server, click it, and then give it a NTP server. the NTP server, you can use any NTP server on the internet. I'm using pool.ntp.org and just accept it. Okay, and after you have done all these configurations, you need to, and because it's restarting the NTP daemon, but still you may have problem, it's better to reboot the system. So type reboot, and the problem will solve after the reboot. So after reboot, if you refresh the page, you will see that the time is synced. So you need to run the ViciBox time zone and also reboot the system. Without reboot, it won't work. Now if you log out, log in back, you can see that this is how it works. And it is in call. So your ViciPhone is ready to receive call or make calls based on the type of the campaign that you are setting or different settings that we have explained in the other videos. Thank you for watching. And if you have any question, please put in the comments. Thank you. Goodbye.